The drought had lasted 3 long years. Fields that once stretched green now lay cracked and brown. One by one, the wells dried up. One by one, families packed their belongings and left the village, searching for a place where the rain still fell. In a small hut at the edge of the village lived an old farmer named Devraj. He had lost almost everything: his cattle, his savings, even his old wooden plough, sold just to buy food for one more week. All that remained was a single cloth pouch. Inside it, one seed, the very last seed from his family's harvest, saved from generations before him. His neighbours knew about it. Some came to him quietly and said, "Devraj, plant it in your own field. Maybe it will grow. Maybe you'll have something to eat next season." Others said, "Don't be foolish. Eat it. One seed won't feed a family, but it might satisfy your hunger for one more night." Devraj held the seed in his palm for a long time, turning it over, feeling its weight. So small, yet somehow it felt heavier than anything he owned. That night he made his decision. He didn't eat it, and he didn't plant it only in his own field. Instead, the next morning he walked to the village centre, where the last of the villagers still gathered, exhausted and hopeless. He knelt down, dug a small hole in the community's shared ground, the one patch of soil everyone still cared for, and planted the seed there, in front of everyone. "If it grows," he said, "it grows for all of us, not just me." People thought he had lost his mind. Some laughed. Others simply walked away, too tired to hope. But Devraj visited that spot every single day. He carried water from the farthest well, sometimes walking for hours, just to keep the soil from turning to dust completely. Even when his own body grew weak from hunger, he never missed a day. Weeks passed. Then, one quiet morning, a tiny green sprout broke through the cracked earth. Word spread through the village like wildfire. People gathered around that small patch of green, the first living thing anyone had seen in 3 years. Devraj cared for that plant like it was his own child, and when it finally matured, it didn't just produce a handful of grain, it produced enough seeds to replant an entire section of the community field. The following season, when light rains finally returned, the village had something no one else nearby had: seeds ready to plant, multiplied from that one single act of sacrifice. The harvest that followed fed families who had once mocked him. It fed children who had never tasted grain grown from their own soil. It gave the whole village a reason to stay, to rebuild, to believe again. Years later, when people spoke of that terrible drought, they didn't just remember the suffering. They remembered the one seed an old farmer refused to eat. Because here's the truth. In our hardest moments, the easiest choice is always to consume what little we have left, just to survive one more day. But sometimes the harder choice, to give, to plant, to trust in something bigger than our own hunger, is the only thing that saves everyone, including ourselves. You may only have one seed left, but one seed, shared with the right intention, can feed an entire future.